What's tea?
Okay. Yeah. So welcome back to the Prettiest Podcast. I'm your host, Treviana.
And I'm your co-host, Ali.
And y'all, today we're going to be talking about the Auntie Chronicles.
Y'all, the aunties. Like, are we almost there? I think we're pushing it.
We're knocking on the door.
We're knocking the door, you guys, and I'm trying to run as fast as I can. Listen.
I think that it's a beautiful thing to embrace, though.
You know what? I understand that, though, because I feel like through, like, life and through like your journey in life, you know, you learn so much.
You do.
So I definitely feel like the auntie phase or going into your auntie phase is like totally okay.
So we go do the auntie indicators. We're gonna what makes you an auntie? Like what is
I feel like one thing that makes you an auntie. Well, first, my number one thing is like for me, what I noticed is like, baby, I used to be outside. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna lie. I used to be outside. But I feel like when you prefer to be inside versus outside, that's kind of an indicator of like auntie status. Yeah. Like that's probably like the first indicator.
I agree.
Yeah. And I'm also like, I think we were just talking about this kind of like auntie can kind of be like, it's not just age per se, because I'm going to get to that in a second. Yeah. But I personally feel like are the age really? But I do feel like how you were telling me, like, it's more of a energy, you know what I'm saying, versus like an actual age status. Because, baby, Listen, they're showing you it's still pop lock and it rolls. Okay,
all of the above.
Well, what's the indicator for you? What do you think?
I mean, I feel like the same when outside is not outside no more. Like you're yawning in the club, you ready to go to the house, baby. They talk about the next location, baby. Next location is to my dad.
But like, listen. Though that's how I say I'm like I don't know because it depends on what vibe I'm in.
Yes,
like for me, it definitely depends because I ain't gonna lie. I'm the type now, like, where before, baby, I used to be booking it to work 7 a.m. I just left the club at, like, 5. Yeah. No lie. Like, I had a wild night, stay out all night. Yes. But now I'm more like, okay, no, like, if I work tomorrow,
I have to get my hours.
I need my beauty rest. Yeah. It matters. Yes. Like, before, I'm telling you, I was going to work in my club clothes underneath. Pushing it. No, like
that's a different. That's not auntie stage.
Yeah, no, that was like, oh baby, we out here.
We're outside.
I'm coming to work. I'm getting my money, but like the clothes that I was in last night, they're underneath what I have on.
You know what I think another auntie indicator is?
What?
When I feel like you're past. Okay, don't listen. I feel like you're past your 3 or 4 stage.
Okay, I agree.
Like you're more looking for a man.
I agree. But see, I feel like that's hard too because sometimes I feel like, well, no, I agree. And I feel like it also depends too because I feel like, for instance, if it's a person that's been in long-term relationships for a long time and this is their first time being free, then baby,
it's up.
It's up. Because, you know, some women, they literally have went through that process where it's like they've been with the same person for so long. Especially like the women before us where it was like it was normal to do that. Like I've been with this man through this amount of period. I've been with him for so long. So like now I'm free. I'm outside. You know what I'm saying? But I do feel like I definitely agree because I feel like once you start really getting serious about what you want and just realizing like, okay, like I had that phase. Right. I had that time. I did that. That's cool. But like, I don't want that no more. Like, I want something more serious.
Yeah, I want something more serious. I want something more settled. Stable.
You want to know what's one for me?
Yeah.
You want to know what's like a funny one for me? When you start caring about like your home decor.
That's tea.
When you start, no, for real. No, when you start trying to make your house into a home and you really start like, okay, you get excited when you start seeing like the not HGTV, but like HGTV, you know, like when you start seeing like, oh, that's beautiful. I love when you start falling in love with cleaning products. When you start falling in love with cleaning products and you start being like, oh, this is a nice little gadget to have in the home. Like, literally. I feel like you pushing.
On your birthday, baby, you don't want just anything. You want, baby, something that can enhance my lifestyle on an everyday basis.
Yes. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, it's not just anything or like the small things where it's like, okay, like I can get that, but like, no, this is like piquing my interest. I love the way those pillows sit on the couch.
Yes.
Okay, I actually been seeing this meme that's been going around, which for me, it doesn't bother me, but it was like, you know, you get old when you get bothered about the way somebody sits on your couch.
That's the one.
Literally, it was in the
don't
comments
put your
like,
feet on my couch. Don't do none of that. Don't sit too hard. Don't even sit. Just stand. Just look at it. That's it.
If you lean back too hard, you're too comfortable.
While the grandma left that plastic on there.
Literally. So I'm like, I feel like when you start hitting that, you kind of pushing like auntie status. Because I'm telling you, little stuff now is like, oh, like I love watching like home improvement or like just decor and like cleaning things. I'm like, ooh.
Definitely.
And like I said, like for me, I don't feel like technically, ladies don't hate me. Mm-hmm. I personally feel like real auntie status, like your full auntie, is like when you hit the age range of like, what did I say? Like 35 and up. 35 and up. I can see that. 35 and up. See that. Well, I didn't say 35 and up, but like somewhere once you after 35, I feel like you pushing auntie status.
And I think it's one of those things where it's like maturity in age, though. I feel like 35 and up, you should be more wiser. You should be moving a little bit different. You're not just outside. I mean, it's nothing wrong with just being wild and free. Yeah. You just move different than you were in your 20s.
And I think, and the thing is, there's a difference between like going out and enjoying yourself. Yeah. Because the difference of when you are in your 20s and your younger 20s, mind you guys, like in your younger 20s, I'm going to say that, you know what I'm saying? In your younger 20s, I feel like you're not as like you're still green. Yeah. If that makes sense. Like you're still green. Yeah. Where I feel like you can still go out, have a good time, you're
more aware though.
Yeah, you're just more aware. And I feel like that's the difference. I don't think it's the age. I think it's more about the mentality and the mindset. I agree. And really just the understanding. Yes. I also feel like another thing, low key, where you get like auntie statuses is kind of when you stop giving a F what anybody has to say.
That part.
When you really get to the point of like, and I'm talking about, I don't care if it's friends, family, when you really get to the point to where it's like, I'm living my life for me, and you're really okay and comfortable, like you're not living for society, like you're okay with where you are at in life. I feel like that's kind of like a telltale sign of
I'm reaching auntie. I'm reaching that wisdom that I wish my younger stuff had.
Yes. What is it called? Like when your frontal lobe develops.
Yes.
I don't know if mine's just developed fully, but
I think it takes a lifetime to develop just 100%. I mean, you can never stop learning.
Yeah, that's true.
But I think it's one of the things where I feel like when you're at your auntie stage, like your tolerance is lower. Like, there's one of you they don't play. Baby, we're not going for this and we're not going for that, baby. I've been there and I've done it, and I feel like that's auntie stage. Like, baby, I used to do this back and forth.
You know more. You know more. Like you've been around the block. Yeah. You didn't been around the block. You didn't seen it before. Like, so the same things that used to excite you as like a young girl or in your younger age, like you're like, oh no, I'm not going for it no more. I'm not going for it no more. Yeah. It reminds me of like when it's like when you hear stuff from your mama and stuff, you be like, okay. Then when you start to get that, like, now I understand. Yeah. Now I understand.
And I think for me that like genuine understanding came earlier because I had kids earlier.
And no, clock that, because not everybody, but I do feel like when you have children younger, or like you put in a position where you have to be like the adult in a younger age, it does make you mature because you have to. And like I said, not everybody does that, but I do feel like for some people, like it does get into the point where it's like, okay, I ain't got all them games. Yeah. Oh, that's what I was gonna say. It reminded me of when my granny used to be like, she's not talking to no man that's not paying no bills. No. Now I understand, because as you get older, it's like, what you doing is cool, and it's not that a man just have to pay your bills, but she just saying like, if I'm sitting here and I'm doing all this and every day, you think you about to smile in my face and be okay, and then half the time y'all be cheating and just want to have sex.
You know what that is? That's worth. You know your worth when you're your auntie.
And you cannot let these men fool you. And I feel like just as you get older, your tolerance, like you were saying, like your tolerance just gets lower for the BS. Honestly, it does. And that's I feel like, you know, that's another like telltale sign. Yes. You know what I'm saying? When your tolerance starts getting very, very fickle, very low.
Very low. You just cut them off.
Yeah. What they say, it's a lot of rules over here.
Okay.
It's a lot of rules.
That part.
When it's a lot of rules, it's like, okay, yeah, like you said, I know my worth. Like you start to know your worth. And I feel like you just really start to see like that's what's important.
That's what's important. Definitely. So speaking of what's important, as far as being an auntie or upcoming auntie, do you feel like how is your, and I know it's like a little bit different because you're still, you know, getting there, but how do you feel like having kids early or having kids later in life? Do you feel like which one is better?
So for me, y'all, because first, I don't have any kids right now, and I do feel like you kind of start to. This is another thing, like when you kind of start to feel that pressure of like, oh crap, like I don't have a kid or like I'm not married. I feel like that's a telltale sign too. You're like pushing it, like you're pushing it, like. And honestly, like I said, to me personally, I don't feel like we are in auntie stage, but I feel like we knocking. We're knocking. I'm trying to run y'all, but we're knocking. But for me, do I feel like having kids younger or older? As a person who has been able to like be a person that's more of like on the outside looking in per se, which I feel like it gives you a lot of perspective, like on the outside looking in, because I have a ton of friends that have kids, but then I'm like, okay, I don't have kids, but I also have friends who don't have kids. So I feel like there's pros and cons of both. I feel like the thing about having your children young is like you are truly growing with your children. You know what I'm saying? I feel like you're growing with your children.
A baby having a baby,
A baby having a baby. Like you're growing with your children. You're struggling with your children. You know what I'm saying? Like, or the struggles that you may face, like you're going through that with your kids. Now, what I will say though is I feel like having your kids younger, like once you are on your 2 feet, by the time then, baby, they grown, you can be outside and you can go have fun. No, but when I say you can be outside, I mean like you can actually, you're in a space where you can enjoy your life and your children are now of age. So now you're like, okay, like I'm able to go on these cruises, take these vacations, do all this with peace of mind because my children are older now. Like I'm able to do these things without like having to think, not that, because I feel like you always think about your children. You know what I'm saying? Definitely. I feel like you will always think about your children, but like just in a more of a sense where like they're older now. You know what I'm saying? They're kind of, they might be on their own.
They're more independent.
There you go. They're more independent by this point. You know what I'm saying? Now, what I feel like as having your kids older is that you are most hopefully, not everybody, but hopefully you are in a more stable era of your life. Like in your life, you're more stable. You're more like, okay, I'm actually ready to, you know what I'm saying, do this and put really where your focus can be your children. So for me, honestly, it's kind of like up in the air because I'm like, you know, there's pros and cons to both, because if you're older, baby, like they be saying, they're like, by the time I have kids, they're like, oh, is this your grandma?
Not your mom. We're not gonna wait that long. We're not waiting that long.
No, but I'm saying by the time your kids graduate, like you wait too long.
That is true.
Because I remember when I was younger, I used to have friends whose parents were really like way older. Way older.
Well, I feel like you said it's pros and cons to both. Now, given the experience that I've had, I will wait, not just because of the experience of being a motherhood I would have waited. It's the experience of choosing the right one to have a baby with.
And actually clock it, because they say that.
The part.
Clock it.
Yeah.
Clock it. Because I think that is a very
big thing. I think it's one of those things where it's like when you get older, you have more, discernment. You have more, wisdom of what you're actually getting to when you have a baby with someone.
Yeah, that is true.
And I feel like it's one of those things where you don't really understand until you do it, and you're like, oh, so this is what they're talking about.
For me, like I've said, which probably in the past episodes I've said, like I feel like that's one of the biggest reasons why I have not.
Yeah.
Because it's like, I ain't gonna lie, like I just have a vision of what I want.
What you want, and that's good.
I have a vision of what I want and how I want it to be. So like, if I feel like it's not going in that direction, or if I feel like, if it's just not giving, I don't want to do that. Because I feel like, being a parent, like that's a lot of sacrifice. It's a lot of sacrifice. It's a lot of like, just I won't even just say growing, but it's just a lot of growing. It's a lot of growing. It's a lot of growing. It's a lot of sacrifice. It's a lot that really goes into it. And if the person that you have is not like, if y'all don't match, or this person it's not equal as far as like how y'all view it. You know what I'm saying? How y'all view and how serious y'all view like creating a family together. It's kind of like, okay, no.
And I think it's one of those things where it's like, since there's a lot of trial and error from other people, and you can see like, okay,
and honestly, that's for
and I think that's the positive thing about waiting when you get older. You can literally see trial and error. And I think when you're younger, you don't really get that. Now when I do feel like when you're younger, you do get passes. Because you're younger, you might get more support from people. Because if you don't have your stuff together by the time you're 30, it's like, what you doing? But I feel like when you're younger, you kind of like, okay, we're gonna give her a little leeway because she's younger. But it's one of those things where it's like, if you can wait.
It's crazy. It's so crazy because I was just talking to this woman the other day, and literally she told me, she came up to me, she's like, do you have kids? And I was like, no. She's like, good, don't have them. She was like, good, don't have them. And then the other lady was like, yeah, don't let anybody pressure. And that's something I want to say, like, don't let anybody pressure you.
Definitely.
Feeling like you need to do this, or because you don't have a ring, because you're not. Don't let that pressure you into like jumping into something that's lifelong.
Yes.
That's like a lifelong thing.
Take your time.
Take your time. And it's like, but even for me, like sometimes you do feel like you're like, dang, like everybody's getting married.
Right, everybody's getting married. Like, hey, you have a baby. What about me?
Okay, like where's my knight in shining armor? Like you do feel like that. And I don't know, like says like you do feel like that. You do.
I agree.
Like, okay, like what's going on?
What's my time?
But then at the same time, it's like when I really sit back, I'm like, honestly, I would rather wait for what God has for me.
That's exactly where I was going to go. God's timing is different for everybody.
I would
God knows when you're ready.
Has for me because I just know whatever God has in store for me. I just know it's gonna be such a beautiful thing that it's one of those things where it's like, God, I'm so happy that I waited. I'm. You know what, God? Thank you, God.
Absolutely.
Thank you for making me wait.
Always.
Thank you for making me wait. So that's definitely like something that, for me, as far as like with the kids, like, that's like a big thing for me.
Yeah. So I would have to say, since we're talking about the aunties, who is your auntie Hall of Fame as far as like television, entertainment? Who are the older women who you're like, maybe she did that? Like, she gives it up for the aunties.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so this is kind of, I'm like, who gives it for the aunties?
Yeah.
I would say, who do I really just like love as an auntie? What is her name? It's the the black actress. She played in. Was it The Oval? Oh yeah, she's actually a good one too.
Is it Viola Davis?
Yes, I like her.
I like her too.
I like her.
Well, I'm gonna get more ratchet with it.
Who?
Tia Kim.
Oh,
Rick Ross' baby mama.
Okay, but listen, Tia Kim gives it. I mean, she gives it.
She's borderline grandma. I'm gonna just keep it a buck.
So is Viola Davis, though.
I'm gonna keep it a buck. She's borderline grandma. She's like right there, if not there. But I feel like it's because she was on the Auntie, they made the Auntie podcast with Tokyo and Blueface Mom. And I think Tia Kim just gives like,
she gives it.
Not role model, but like almost like, definitely not role model. That's not role model. But it definitely gives like Auntie Hall of Fame. Like, she carries the title.
She does give Auntie Hall of Fame. Yeah. I'm really trying to think, what's the other? Well, there's actually like, no. I'm gonna keep it where it's at because there's a few.
But I love me some Viola Davis. How to Get Away with Murder?
Because that's what it was. I'm thinking The Oval. No, it was How to Get Away with Murder.
How to Get Away with Murder.
Yeah, no, she's just like an amazing like actor, and I feel like she's
very amazing actress. Very amazing.
Just really gives like even in the interviews that she does. So I feel like
Oh, the other one. What is her name? She's Angela Bassett.
Okay, I was thinking of Angela Bassett.
Angela Bassett, yes.
Oh yeah, yes. It was actually Angela Bassett because I was like, I know it's not Vivica Fox, because Vivica Fox is the other one, right?
Yes.
Yeah, no, it's Angela Bassett.
Yeah,
sorry,
Angela
not the other
Bassett.
one.
But I love me some Vivica Fox too, though.
Yeah, but
how to play that game. Yeah.
But Vivica gives it.
She does give it.
She does.
I love me some Vivica.
She does give it.
She does.
It's somebody that's a Leo. Whoever the Leo is, I love you. It's a Leo.
I don't know if it's top of my head.
It might be Angela Bassett.
Is it Angela Bassett?
Or Vivica Fox is one of the two. Let me see. I gotta look y'all.
We're gonna see. We're gonna see who's the Leo. Because I know for sure. I feel like Auntie Violet. At least when I was growing up.
Angela Bassett is actually yes.
A Leo. So it's Angela Bassett. I love her and Tina Turner.
Oh,
baby, when she was rolling down the river.
Okay, clock it.
Baby, she was popping it.
So, is there any like auntie sayings that you just like that stick out to you? Like anything as an auntie?
Auntie sayings, it would have to be. I feel like auntie saying for me is when they be like, "Don't let the door hit you where the door split you."
Oh wait, I thought you were gonna say, "Oh."
Maybe I was saying it wrong. Baby, don't call me.
Well, I like the one where it says always come out smelling like a rose.
I love that.
Yeah, I love that. Like always come out smelling like a rose. So like it doesn't matter what the situation is, just always uphold yourself as a woman and as a lady. Like always make sure you come out smelling like a rose.
Yes.
Like I love that. I love that. Oh, another one is you get more bees with honey than shit.
Oh, that is true.
That. So it's like, just be nice. Yeah. It's really like be kind. Like if you're being kind.
Oh, you know my favorite auntie line is from Monique.
Oh, I was Monique, but I'm like,
baby, this is my favorite one. She said you lose one, you can get another way.
Look,
hey, I never get two. If that nigga lets them get another, that nigga makes up get two. Okay.
We're missing. Hold on, no, we're missing the auntie where she was in the interview with Charlamagne the God, and she literally talking about her divorces. Oh my God,
really?
Yes. Oh my God,
I know what you're talking about. Who was that?
Oh my God,
oh, that was the one that played for Grownish.
Okay.
That was the one who played for Grownish. I don't know her name. But she's definitely an auntie.
I have to look it up, y'all. I'm so sorry.
She's giving grandma now. She's giving because she was But she definitely was an auntie, y'all. She definitely was an auntie. Yes, I love her.
I need to find her because
I love her though. She played out for Grownish.
Oh my gosh, I don't see her on here.
Did you look up Grownish?
Grownish kid. I can't find her, y'all.
Let me see.
I know what's. Oh my God.
Let me see.
Oh,
she has to be on here.
She was one of the main characters.
She kind of does give grandma.
No, it's not brownish. It's blackish.
Okay. Look at
that's what it is. It's blackish.
Because she hit that right, and she's kind of like pushing grandma, but like
she is.
Yeah, like there's
honestly,
guys, there's so many aunties to give. Just like give
Jennifer Lewis.
Yes.
Jennifer Lewis.
Yes.
And Tracy. Yes. Tracy too.
Yes.
But Jennifer Lewis was definitely like, baby, let me tell you.
Look, she don't play.
Drop them like it's hot. Like it's hot. Literally like it's hot. Drop them.
She do not play. I'm saying I heard that. I said, you know what?
You ain't lying.
You know what?
You ain't lying.
You know what? Auntie. Listen.
Baby. Listen, that part. So I feel like when it comes to like aunties, I think the biggest thing I feel like for aunties is just like knowing who you are and then knowing where you're going.
It's so crazy. That's what I literally was thinking when you're saying, like, know who you are, know where you're going, and like I feel like once you are in that space, like you are more stable.
Yes, for sure.
You are more sure of yourself. You're more comfortable in your skin. Yes. You know, I definitely feel like that.
I feel the same way. I feel the same way. So being an auntie, baby, it's not bad. You would be an auntie whether you're old or you're young, whether you're babysitting or you actually raising your children.
Yes.
Auntie stage is just that maturity that women get
it's
to,
really just a maturity
from young women to aunties to grandma, etc., and a cougar in between, whatever.
Cougar in between.
Wow.
Let me think. Listen, I might be a cougar. We never know. I don't know.
We never know. Let's think where it takes us, where the wind blows. Okay.
Clock it.
So yes, I love this episode because I think it's important to talk about like women and the different stages that we go through
and our lives.
You know what I'm saying? Like what to expect or what you're going through now. Because I feel like as far as our age group, baby, we're going through transitions.
We are, and I will say,
we're the new adults.
I can't believe we're the new adults. I feel like we take nothing serious.
We take nothing.
I feel like we take nothing serious, but I also feel like just being able, sometimes when we look back and we don't want to listen to what the aunties or the grandmas, what they have to say, but it's kind of like, dang, like I kind of wish you get to that point. I kind of wish I did, but you'll get to that point in your life, in that moment in your life, you're like, dang, I remember when so-and-so used to tell me this all the time.
All the time.
And now it's making sense.
That part.
Now it's making sense.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But sometimes you got to run into the brick wall by yourself.
That part as well. Yeah, so. And I think I think when you pass that, you're in your auntie stage. When you done trying to run into the brick walls like you Superman, you in the auntie stage, honey. Yeah, you made it.
You made it. Clock it.
So this was a beautiful episode. Baby, embrace whatever transition, situation, stage you're in life because it's always beautiful.
It's always beautiful and just learning and growing and evolving. So never stop yourself from that.
Yes. Definitely. Well, we'll see y'all on the next episode, baby. Y'all stream, like, comment, subscribe on your favorite streaming platform.
Okay, and the Prettiest Podcast is out.
It's here.